My name is Maya. I'm 27 years old. I live in a quiet town near the mountains. My life is not easy. Every morning I wake up with fear. Every night I cry silently. I want to escape this life, but I don't know where to go. When I was a little girl, the world felt safe. My mother sang lullabies at bedtime. She made warm meals and kissed my forehead before I slept. My father worked at a small bakery. He came home with sweet bread and laughter. I had a younger brother named Leo. He followed me everywhere, always smiling, always kind. But when I was 9, everything fell apart. One morning my father left for work and never came back. We waited for hours, then days, then weeks. People whispered he had left us for another woman. He called me names. I felt small. I felt weak, but I stayed. I thought I could fix him. Then I turned 18 and found out I was pregnant. I was scared, but also hopeful. I thought the baby might change him. I thought maybe he would love again. When I told Evan, he threw a glass at the wall. "Are you trying to trap me?" he shouted. That night I cried, curled up on the floor, holding my stomach. The next day I went to a local clinic. A nurse looked at me with kind eyes and said, "You need help." She gave me a card to a women's shelter. That night, while Evan slept, I packed a small bag and left. The shelter was in another town, quiet, safe. There were 10 other women. Some had bruises, some had babies. All were searching for peace, like me. I stayed until my son was born, a little boy. I named him Eli. He had my eyes and dark curls. I held him and cried. "I will never let anyone hurt you," I whispered. I found work at a bakery. I woke early to make bread. I returned each evening to feed Eli. I lived in one room, one bed, one table, 2 chairs. It was mine. It was enough. I smiled more. I took Eli to the park. I read to him at night. I tried to forget Evan, forget Darren, forget the pain. Then one day Evan found me. I was walking home from work. "Maya?" I turned. My heart stopped. He looked tired, dirty, drunk. "I miss you," he said. I didn't speak. "I've changed. I want to see my son." "No," I said. He grabbed my arm. "Please, just once." I pulled away and ran. That night I didn't sleep. I locked the door. I held Eli tightly. I cried in silence. The next day I went to the police. I told them everything. They said they would help, but I was still afraid. I moved to a new room in the shelter. I kept checking the windows. Every sound made me jump. Eli was the only reason I smiled. One day the shelter manager asked, "Maya, would you like to see a counselor?" At first I said no, I didn't want to talk, but a week later I said yes. Her name was Claire. She had warm eyes, a soft voice. I told her everything from my father to Darren to Evan. She didn't cry, she didn't flinch, she just listened. "You're brave," she said. "You survived." No one had ever said that to me. We met every week. Slowly I felt lighter. I learned it wasn't my fault. I learned love doesn't hurt. I learned I deserved peace. Eli turned 2. He laughed, danced, sang. He brought light into my world. One day, at the bakery, a tall man with kind eyes came in. He smiled and ordered coffee. He came again, and again. A week later he said, "Hi, I'm Jordan." I smiled. "I'm Maya." "I like your smile," he said. I didn't know how to respond. I wasn't used to kindness. He didn't push. He didn't pry. He said, "But I can see you've survived a lot." For the first time in years, I felt warm. Jordan became a gentle part of our life. He brought books for Eli, helped with groceries, never touched me without asking, never raised his voice. "Love," he said, "is not control. It's safety." I started to believe him. One afternoon, he invited us for a picnic. Eli chased butterflies. Jordan looked at me and said, "You don't have to be scared anymore. I'm not him." I wanted to believe him, but fear runs deep. That night I dreamt of myself as a child, holding Leo's hand in the dark. Then I saw Eli, smiling, holding a candle. I woke up crying. The next day I called Leo. We hadn't spoken in years. He was now 21, working in another city. When he answered, I couldn't speak, I just cried. "Maya," he said, "I'm sorry. I whispered. I left you. You did what you had to do, he said. You saved me by saving yourself. We talked for hours. Weeks passed. Jordan was still kind. Eli was growing fast. I felt strong again. Then one day I got a letter. From Evan. I'm sorry. I want to see my son. I didn't answer. I showed it to the shelter staff. They helped me find a lawyer. I didn't tell Jordan, but he saw my face. Are you okay? He asked. No, I said, but I will be. I looked in the mirror that night. I didn't see a victim. I saw a survivor. I spoke to the lawyer. I shared every detail. They said I had a strong case. I could ask for full custody. I told Jordan everything. The letter, my fear, the past. He held my hand. I'm here, he said. A month later, I stood in court. Evan didn't show. His lawyer did. They asked questions. I answered clearly, with courage. 2 hours later, the judge said, full custody goes to Maya. I cried, not from pain, but relief. I went home, picked up Eli. We're safe now, I whispered. That night, I burned the letter. Months passed. I moved to a small apartment. 2 rooms, a tiny kitchen, but it was ours. I painted the walls yellow. I put flowers by the window. It felt like home. Jordan visited often, never rushed me. I'll wait, he said, until you're ready. One evening we sat on the porch, stars above, Eli sleeping inside. Maya, he said, I love you, not for your past, but for who you are now. Tears filled my eyes, not from fear, from love. I love you too, I said. It wasn't a fairy tale. I worked 2 jobs. I still had nightmares. I checked locks every night. But I wasn't afraid anymore. I started writing my story. I wanted to help other women. I gave talks at the shelter.